People, as they come into Washington D.C., we come here on trips and family trips and school trips. We see the monuments. We see these essentially temples to our country's heroes and founding fathers. You visit all the museums and see these memorials to wars that were fought and heroes that lived and died serving our country. But very few people get off the National Mall and into the broader city and see that people actually live here. This is a place where people live and work and play and eat, and it's in this city that the people that live here are in unique positions because so many are around and connected to our government and what's happening in the leadership sectors of our city and of our country. It's amazing that when you look at our cities in the United States, there are some old historic churches, but a lot of our churches in our cities are dying congregations. A lot of the churches that have grown over the last 30, 40 years, it's been out in the suburbs. There's been a push outward into the suburbs, and so that's where churches have been planted and started and grown. But our city, there's a movement now because people have looked and said, well, wait a second, especially as the culture shaping generation, the 25 to 40 age group has shifted and is really transitioning back into our urban centers. It's important that the church, the broader church, has seen that and said, well, wait a second, we should be making an impact here. There aren't churches meeting the needs of this niche in our cities, in our urban centers. And if we're going to have an impact on shaping culture, we need to be in the places where culture is being shaped. Yeah, this site is interesting because this church, there's been a church on this corner since 1838 was the date it originated. It's a historic site that was the first school for African American kids in Washington, D.C. And the building has been here since 1870. For us, we rent it, but our church is people. It is, and it's very important to us to understand that the church isn't a building or a special meeting at a place or time, but it's people. It's God's people. Wherever they are, whenever they gather, when they come together, they are the church. And so for us, we began gathering just in our living room, and that's where things started. And we outgrew the living room, so we needed more space. And so now we're utilizing a facility here. But for us, as we think about the church has two aspects to it. We have the church gathered for worship, for prayer, to read scripture, to be able to sing praises together, to hear the gospel preached. And then we have the church scattered as the people of our church go out throughout the community, throughout the city, throughout the week, as God's people, as the church. Our main avenues of communication so far have been, we've had several pushes, but it's been ultimately, I guess I would separate it into two categories that we've pursued. The first one is relational networking and word of mouth. It's been our goal to equip our people to be the community of Redemption Hill Church and in their lives to draw people into that community. So most of our people got connected because they have friends that are part of Redemption Hill Church. The other primary source has been electronically. Our webpage has been a huge front door for people to plug in with us, and through that we've been able to use social networking, and so we utilize Facebook especially and Twitter, our two avenues that people have been connected to our website through those. As I was praying through this neighborhood, my spirit jumped inside of me. And I couldn't get away from Acts chapter 17. The Apostle Paul was in Athens, and in Athens, his approach to ministry was to get into the marketplace, to engage in dialogue with whoever happened to be there day by day so that he would find opportunities to share the gospel and share Jesus with them. So this is Eastern Market, and there's a market right here. And as I was walking through the market, I was just imagining the Apostle Paul engaging in ministry in that place and imagining what it could look like for a church to engage the marketplace on Capitol Hill. Been an incredible journey for us. It's been an incredible ride so far. It's been very clear through the process of the establishment of this community of Redemption Hill Church in this place that God has set up this time and this place. It's in Acts 17 again, Paul says that God appoints the times and places, the boundaries where we live, so that as we reach out for him, groping around for him, as like a man in a dark room, that we will reach out and even find him because he's not far from each one of us. And so it's been amazing to see what he's done so far, and it's so exciting to see a new community be birthed in the heart of a major city.
Absent from flesh, oh blissful thought, what joy this moment brings. Freed from the blame my sin has brought, from pain and death and its sting.